Are you practicing questions, and vocabulary in order to pass that exam? Well, if not, let's do it now. We're going to do national questions and answers and also Texas state questions at the end of the class. So this class is designed for students to participate. So if you're watching the replay, hey, fast forward in between questions if you don't want to wait for the answer from everybody else. And remember to tap that subscribe button, click that little bell so you're the first to get notified, and like this video if you find it useful. This is Lily Hendy Dominguez with YouTube Agent Prep coming to you from San Antonio, Texas. So we're continuing from Wednesday. So I go consecutively. So in the description, it'll tell you where we're starting should you have the book. If not, you can buy the book. The link on Amazon is also in my description. And let me share with you the book. And so this author creates books for so far 26 states, and Texas, of course, is one of them, because Texas is one of the states that has the most realtors, and Florida and California. Okay, so this is by the Metling family, father and son. Okay. Oops. Got to go back to our question. We're starting out with 10.6, and these are math problems, real estate math. Hopefully real estate math made easy. And I want to point out that on the thumbnail, I'm sending out messages. So what I'm saying is to believe that it's the easy exam that you've ever received. All right. Keep focusing on that, meditate on it, affirm it, and affirm that you pass, like I put in the prior thumbnail. So these exams can be very stressful, create a lot of anxiety and disappointment if you don't pass. Hey, just hit next. It's like growing up and crawling first. Well, first you're being carried, right? And then you start trying to crawl and stand up. And no matter how many times we fall, right? We kept on going. So that's what you've got to do here. Don't give up if this is something that you really want. Just realize that, research it and find out, is it really what I want? Because it's not a paid job. It's a commission only. Okay, commission only, 100% commission. Therefore, you're creating your own business. You're not getting free leads. If you do, they're not usually the best leads because you're starting out as a beginner. So you've got to do the legwork and do it. Okay, do it, do it, do it. So I'm now cold calling every day. Okay, 1, 2, 3 hours. And I have a listing appointment this afternoon from the cold calling. Did I like cold calling? No, I didn't. But I changed my attitude and I want to grow my business to a different level to be an example for all of you. Okay, and show you that stretching the envelope, getting rid of your fears, overcoming what stops you, okay? And, hitting the fear and stretching that envelope, confronting it. Become comfortable with what you are uncomfortable with. Cold calling, I'm uncomfortable with. So what am I doing? I'm doing it every day. In addition to that, what am I doing? I'm networking with other individuals that do it every day. And networking with individuals that script practice. This is awesome, exciting. I have never found it so exciting to cold call. All right, so just a little pep talk. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Lina Magali. So that's from Texas. You're new here. Yes, welcome. And like Quinn, happy morning. Great morning, right? Cool. Okay, so be ready to take notes, listen. You can replay this. These are recorded. They're on YouTube. Agent Prep. Yes, EXP is good for new agents. It's godly. No. Should you be the type that you're self-motivated and you like to work out of home? Okay, I changed to EXP during COVID. and realize that so many of us were doing things online like you are doing right now, right? Study and practicing questions and vocabulary online, virtually. So many individuals are getting jobs and working virtually. I have several nieces and nephews, okay, that are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. Now they work virtually. So they can be anywhere and do their job. This is what EXP allows you, and a lot of training and education, and we get awarded stocks when we do our first transaction. So it is good for anyone. However, you have to really do the work and keep learning and studying, okay? And it's not that easy. Whether you go to a brokerage, brick and mortar office, or you start with a virtual company like us, it's not always easy. Okay. Now, if you're the good morning, Lisbeth, if you're the type that likes to go to an office and network with other individuals, chit chat, and, do that kind of thing, then we're not the company for you, unless it's a particular EXP realtor or broker that has an office when they transition from another company to EXP, because there are many brokers that have brick and mortar offices that moved to EXP and they kept their office. Okay, so it just depends. What is your style of working? What is your need? You've got to look at what is your need. We may or may not be the solution for you. The other thing I will say is that, unfortunately, 75 to 87% of beginners leave the business. For example, I attracted 18 new students, okay, from my YouTube channel and others. 7 have already left, gone inactive, or 2 have moved elsewhere. So it's a real high percentage. It does cost you money. You've got to have money, and you've got to generate leads. And it's not because we're a virtual company that they leave. It happens throughout the nation, okay, and maybe throughout the world, that realtors, beginners find out, oh my gosh, this is not what I expected. It's a lot of work. Okay. However, you can enjoy the fruits of the labor and the harvest when you stick with it and do what you're asked and recommended to do. Okay. So let's get with it. Okay. She says, call me Wendy. Way to go, Wendy. And it's a little windy today, but cool. All right, here we go. So let me remind that, and for those of you that are new, these are national questions that apply to all 50 states. Please type the question number and the letter answer so that everyone knows where we're at and what answer you're responding to, because there are delays with Facebook and YouTube and StreamYard, which is what I am using. And I love it. Ooh, Lisbeth, you're on YouTube. Yoo-hoo! Awesome. Thank you for the support. Okay, here we go. 10.6. Maria plans to mulch the flower area around her house. The house measures 40 feet by 30 feet, and she figures she'll mulch an area 8 feet in width to form a big rectangle all around the perimeter. What is the square footage of the resulting mulched area? Okay, so you've got feet by feet. What does that create? Square feet. Okay, so it's not going to be, well, it is because all of them are square feet. Okay, so the house measures 40 by 30, and she wants to mulch an area of 8 feet. And this is a flower bed around her house. Okay, so what is the square footage of the resulting mulch area? And you've got, okay, all dimensions are in feet, so that's good. So let's do the calculations and see what you come up with. And perimeter, do y'all know what perimeter is? Is the measurement around the house. So an appraiser, a surveyor, they're going to measure all the way around the house on the outside. That is the perimeter of the house. So it's a 40 feet by 30 feet. So it's what, 1,200 square feet, right? And so she's going to do the mulch flower area around her house, okay? And the house measures 40 feet by 30 feet all the way around, okay? If you take a measuring tape, okay, one of those on a wheel, and you go all the way around the house, you're measuring 40 feet on one side of the house, 30 feet on the other, because most of the time they're either rectangular or square. So two sides are equal, two other sides are equal. Okay, so anyone? I'll answer your question in a little bit, Wendy. So anybody doing a math problem? So the outside perimeter of the flower bed area is 40 feet by 8 feet by 8 feet, right? Because if you're putting it against the house, you're not going to worry about the backside, which is the wall of the house. So you have 8 feet sticking out, 40 feet wide, and 8 feet going back. So you've got 40 feet by 8 feet, I mean, not by, 40 feet plus 8 feet plus, so let me see if I can get my, okay, so here is a board, okay? So it's 40 foot, okay, on one side of the house, and 8 inches deep on one side, and another 8, not 8 inches, 8 feet. So it's all 8 feet. Okay. And so adding those three together, so you've got 16 plus 40, right? That's 56. And then you're going to multiply that. Now we add the 30 feet. Also plus 8 feet. Always keep your units. So 56 times, so 30 plus 16, okay, that's 46, right? So what does that equal? And then we subtract the area of the house. So you've got 56 times 46. Can somebody multiply that? So I'm going to go ahead and put that in parentheses, minus the square footage of the house. Which is, okay, because this is feet by feet. So you're going to get, if somebody can, okay, so that's 25. Thank you, Wendy. 2576, okay, minus 1200, oops, gives us what? It gives us 1,324. Or do I have it calculated wrong? Okay, so one of the numbers is incorrect. 1376. Yeah, so the answer is 1376. Okay, you gave me 2576 and then minus, oh, yes, minus 1200, okay? So that is 1376. So that's how you calculate 1376. And you're like, well, why are you subtracting the house? Because you're not putting mulch in the area of the house. You're just putting it on the perimeter on the outside and 8 feet, you know, out. You want a nice big bed around the house that's 8 feet deep, okay, on each side, and 40 foot, okay, is the front. And then on the other two sides. So you've got 4 sides. That's why you have 40 feet plus 8 feet plus 8 feet. And because you've got a rectangular flower bed, and then you have a second flower bed on the sides of the house that are 30 feet by 8 feet by plus 8 feet plus 8 feet. Okay, so first you've got to add the total feet on each side of the house. Okay, and then multiply those two together so that you have how many square feet of mulch you're going to need, and then subtract the square footage of the house, giving us 1376. Hi, Crystal. Awesome. Okay, y'all, remember to type the question number and the letter answer. I know I was asking you for the answer in square feet. So the answer is what? 10.6 D, 1376. Well, I thought I was typing it. And what is that? It's square feet. Remember to keep your units. So that you know, if they were to happen to put square inches, you're going to say, well, I know it's not square inches, so it's not that answer. So boom, eliminate that one. Okay. I use okay a lot. And so what's 10.6 E 1376 square feet. All right, very good. Awesome. Let's minimize this. Number 7. Oops. Should have left it where it was, huh? All right. Calculate how many acres are in the southeastern 1/4 of the western 1/2 of the eastern 1/2 of section 9. Okay, so hi, Barbara. So Barbara passed her national. Awesome, congratulations, and missed state by 2. Hey, that's okay, just keep going, all right? And then Crystal said, I failed national again, 5 points. I only got 1 math question right. It's discouraging. Yes, it is discouraging, but get rid of that thought and just keep going. That means you need to practice more math, right? So real estate math is my weakness. Let's change the verbiage. I love math. I love math. I love math. Just the way that I'm doing with cold calling. Okay, I have a little song that this lady wrote, and I complimented her on it. And it says, gosh, every time I'm looking for it, I can't find it. So it says, I love making calls until I hit my goal. No matter how hard objections, no matter how hard my fear, I win my fear. I love it. I love it. I love it. Whenever I can conquer my fear of rejection. Okay, so here is, no matter how hard you fear math, you're going to conquer your math. Okay, and so I sing that little song that she sings in front of the mirror before I do my cold calling, and it gives me confidence and excitement, and I stand up and do it. Okay. Thanks. Yes, keep going. So what we say in real estate when we're talking to many people and we get a lot of rejections, next. Okay. Of course, we have rebuttals and we have things to try to help them understand. Says, we were all here for a reason. Thank you, Lily. Yes, we're all here not only to learn, but to get our mindset correctly and be motivated and encouraged to keep going. This is a tough business, and it can be very tough on our mindset, okay? On our feelings, on our attitude, and our thinking. We have to change that stinking thinking to positive, good smelling thinking, okay? Thanks for the encouragement. That is why I started watching you. Awesome, Wendy. Thank you so much. You know, sometimes I think about, okay, some people say, hey, you talk too much or you just get to the point. Well, there's a lot of channels that do that already. I think I'm the only one that does this kind of thing. And so what? Hey, people love my energy and I'm not for everyone. So I'm going to keep doing it. And thank you for the compliments. All right. So okay, so on these are interesting problems, okay? So on this one, so let's get another page. So you've got, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, so I am creating a township, okay? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they start numbering them 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, 5, 6. Hopefully I got them the right way. It might be 1 this way. And then they go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, okay, 12, until you get to 36. All right. And so they're saying in section 9. So this is a township that has 36 sections. So they're saying in section 9, you have how many acres are in the southeastern quarter of the western half of the eastern half. Okay, so there's different ways to evaluate this question. There's a quick way to do it, okay, but I'm going to help you understand what is being done. So now we have, so now we have section 9. Section 9 is split in quarters, and this has what, 640 acres, right? So this is considered the northeast, northwest quarter, southwest, southeast. And they're saying, so what they do is they start backwards with the formula, and they say the southeastern 1/4 of the western 1/2 of the eastern. So the western side is this, okay? So you have the western half and the eastern half. You have the north half and the south half. So southeastern quarter of the western half of the eastern half. Okay, so, and so that's when you're looking at the eastern half and the western half. So this is the eastern half. You won't have to calculate it this way. I'm just trying to get you to understand it, okay? And so that I make sure I explain it right. Okay, so the way that you calculate it quickly, okay, is you use, so divide, so you've got 640 acres in a whole section. All right. And then the area in question is 1/4 of a half of a half. So what do they mean? So this is a half and this is a half. So now on this half, okay, they're taking 1/4 of this and another, they're taking, let's see, it's 1/4 of 1/2. Okay, so this is 1/2. So they're dealing with, you know, one square in question. And the way they calculate it is they got, you put 1, see all these 1/4, 1/2 of 1/2. So all you have to do is 1/4 times 1/2 times, and what was the other? 1/2. And this is all in section 9. Section 9, okay? So you multiply. So 1 times 1 times 1 equals 1, okay? 4 times 2 times 2. So what's 4 times 2? 8, right? Times 2. 16, right? So the one is equivalent to 640 acres. But instead of saying 640 divided by 4, 640 divided by 2, 640 divided by 2, you just multiply the 1/4, the 1/2, and the 1/2, get 116, and then put 640 acres in place of the 1, divide by 16, and what do you get? 64 divided by 16 is what? So, you bring the 0 down, 16 into 64 is 40 acres. Okay, did anybody calculate that? Dun, 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 same. No, you make it more personal. I like it. Thank you, Wendy. So me too. I really appreciate it for your encouragement. Awesome. I love your energy. Yeah, that's why I go by Wild Lily Hendy. Okay. I was the wild child in the family. And I even had a license plate on my sports car that I still have, a little Mercedes that said Wild Side. In the days that you would abbreviate words like wild, YLD, with yield, yes, changed to decimals. No, you don't have to use decimals here. Okay, so 640 divided by 16, bring down the 0, divide 64 by 16, and so it's 40 acres. All right, so out of these 640, okay, they divided it into the eastern 1/2, that was this here, and then they said 1/2 of the so you start with eastern 1/2 of section 9, western 1/2 of the eastern. Okay, so there's half, and then 1/4 of the southeastern. So then southeastern, okay. So you're calculating it out of there. When you keep dividing these into 4s, okay, and that's how they calculate. And this is when you live out in the country, like in Oregon, this is how we calculated acreage, because there's a lot of land, right, in Northwest United States, Oregon and Washington. So we keep dividing a section into quarters and quarters and quarters until we get, all right, to the actual size of the acreage. But to make it easy, all you have to do is take the 1/4 times 1/2 times 1/2. That makes it simple. 1/4, 1/2, 1/2. The 1 on top equals to 640, because that is what one section totals in acres. And then you divide by the multiplication of the bottom to get your acres. So that's really easy. You don't have to do this, but I like it. I like to figure it out. Okay, I'm a math person. So you just do 1/4 times 1/2 times 1/2 equals 116. 1 equals 640 divided by 16 gives us 40. Voila. Okay, there's no decimal change on here. So 10/7 is 40. But since I haven't practiced these in a long time, I've got to make sure I'm telling you the right thing. So that's how that is done. Don't worry about all the wording. Hi, Ruth. Nice to have you on here. Oh, you're on Facebook today instead of on YouTube. All right. Did I miss anybody who's just come on? No. All right. So there are ways to simplify it. Another person that does really good on math is Prep Agent Joe Juder. Okay. And I'm going to be starting to tutor sometime soon and do some private session tutoring, like $75 an hour that I can schedule. I've never done that before, but I've decided in talking, brainstorming with other individuals, business people, is to provide some tutoring. And Prep Agent also has tutors, okay, that they charge $75 an hour, and we can practice on that. If you have multiple hours, then I can give a discount. So I haven't implemented it yet, but I will soon. Okay, so that was 10.7b. Did you all understand that? Any questions before I move to the next one? All right. Yes, Crystal. Please, that will be yes. And I can tutor you here in San Antonio. I can go to a title company, Envision, and tutor you there in person. In fact, I used to do these presentations when I first started 8 years ago in office conference. I was not on Facebook. I was not on YouTube. And as time went on and students had to travel an hour, I was asked to see if I could do it on, on Facebook or something like that. So then I learned how to do Facebook, which I wasn't crazy about. And during COVID, I learned how to do it on YouTube. Okay, so I've progressed little by little. However, I have never wanted to charge. I did it in person because a lot of my students end up joining me at the real estate company that I'm at. However, many get really nervous and scared. So yes, please give me a call, send me a message, and let's do it. Okay. All right. Because, a lot of you are paying Prep Agent, you're paying other tutors, you're paying Champion 120 for a weekend, but it's all a big group. Okay. Instead of a one-on-one, and every individual learns differently. And I love all those programs. Prep Agent has a private tutor. I think Stu is one of them. And there's an awesome lady. I keep forgetting her name. I know Stu because several individuals mentioned him. And I chatted with him on here on YouTube and Messenger. Okay, awesome. All right. There was a question earlier that I want to go back and answer. Let's see here. This was by Wendy. Question: what are your thoughts of part-time agent until income is built, if that makes sense? Okay. I've had part-time students that work full-time and then end up leaving their full-time job within a year and a half. And why? Because they have a great big network. They know a lot of people and they hustle. They were at the office every week and they were there in the evenings when I was tutoring, and they had full-time jobs. So after their job, they would come to the office and interact with me and do the business. This business is not designed to be a part-time business. However, part-time means a lot of different things to many people. A part-time person could work 20, 30 hours plus do another full-time job. It just depends on how you're earning your energy. Okay. I used to work 80-hour weeks when I was an engineer, and we don't have a lot of time for anything else, but I was very high energy. Right. And so I would travel and I'd be on the road on weekends, on holidays, on my birthday, in snowstorms. Okay. And that was just me. I was a workaholic. So I could do 2 or 3 jobs, okay, at a time. Do I want to do that now? Not really. And so it is doable. However, when you have your mentality to think, I'm going to do it part-time, are you going to really hustle during those part-time hours? Is part-time 20 hours? So if you end up doing cold calling for, 10 of those hours, 2 or 3 hours every day, you're going to get business. However, now you've got to go listing appointments. Now you got to go show houses. So it depends. Do you want to do 5 deals a year? Do you want to do 10 deals a year? So it depends. It's not designed to be done part-time, but I have seen part-time realtors succeed at a great percentage. Large percentage do not. Life gets in the way, family gets in the way, children, illness, all kinds of things let them get in the way. We have to be mentally, that's why I say we have to be mentally strong, have an awesome mindset, set goals, and do it no matter what. Now, do I always do it no matter what? I have had a tendency to get sick because I'm high energy, high stress sometimes, but I've learned a lot by reading books and learning from others and having coaching and mentoring. Okay, I've paid a lot of money for those things, and things get easier, but we don't give up. Through the ups and the downs, as you have in life, you keep on going, right? The day we were born, as Jim Rohn says, it became a risk. Every day we wake up, it's a risk. anything that we do is a risk. So take the risk, do it part-time if that's all you can do. But if you can do it full-time, I highly recommend you do it full-time, because a lot of percentage of your time is going to be learning and then implementing, taking action. All right. The whole world will soon become Russia. Oh, come on. Get out of here. Hi, Crystal. You know, go promote yourself somewhere else. Yeah. All right. I'm not into big politics. Okay. I'm not a big political person. All right. So I see that I have a lot of questions. So I'm going to go ahead and answer your questions. All right. And disregard, you know, some of these comments that people make on here. Sometimes those sexual comments, websites, and now, you know, this person talking about Russia. All right. Let's see. So what is your best advice in remembering or memorizing math formulas? Practice formulas. Practice problems. Okay. The only way to remember math, I'll tell you what, I used to practice so much. It was amazing, but that was my passion. Okay. I have a mathematical, analytical mind. And that was my passion. I liked math. However, did I learn it just like that? Heck no. I practice every day. And my dad would make me do the timetables from 1 by 1 to 10 by 10 or 11 or 12. And this is how fast he would go. 1 by 1 is 1. 1 by 2 is 2. So at the snap of a finger, I had to give him the answer. 1 by 3 is 3. 1 by 4 is 4. 1 by 5 is 5. Okay. 2 by 5 is 10. 3 by 5 is 15. So he would snap his fingers, and that's how fast I had to give an answer. That was practicing with the mind instead of just a calculator. Because with a calculator, we don't learn. We're just punching keys. We're just punching buttons. When you write it out with a pencil and paper, you see. I'm a visual person. I like to see what I'm working on. So when I do these in my mind, I'm visualizing the problem in my mind, but I break it down into small pieces. Like this one, 1/4 by 1/4 by 1/2, right? We can do it the real difficult way, the more difficult way, which is this one, right? This gets scary and confusing. But then if you learn by studying and watching different ways of solving problems, then this is how simple it became. So math is practice math problems, okay? And actually doing them on paper, not just on your calculator. Okay, I paid all that. I'd love a personal with you. I think it would help me a lot. Awesome, perfect, great. So then Wendy, perfect. I have plenty of time during and after my full-time job. Awesome, that's right, weekends. Today I have a listing appointment. I'm preparing before it and going to that. During breaks, lunchtime, downtime, etc. Yes, when I was going to engineering school and I was working 20 hours, I had 18 credit hours. That's 6 classes. Plus I belonged to 4 different organizations, the engineering organization, a women's organization, a Mexican-American Engineering Society, and the Honor Society. I worked 20 hours. So when would I study? During lunch, during breaks, during any minute, you know, any chance. But I was in my late 20s and early 30s then. But when we want something, we do it. When we're passionate about something and we have a vision, we have a reason why we're doing it. Are you doing it because you want your children, your family, your parents, your brothers, sisters, you know, husband to help yourself, make a career, a future, have a business, be your own boss? When you have a vision and a dream and you make a plan, then you'll stick with it. If you don't, we give up. Okay? So it doesn't happen. Listen to other successful people that were on the bottom. How did they do it? With a lot of dedication, consistency, persistence, and taking action. So this is exactly right. During breaks, during lunchtime, downtime, etc., and move to full real estate. Yes. Any minute that you have, when you have the energy, do it. Okay. But you also have to take care of your health, yourself, your mental. I used to get sick a lot. Hi, Carol. Gorgeous. Aw, Barbara. Absolutely. Okay. Awesome questions. Awesome comments. All right. Let's continue with the math. All right. Number 8. And one of my goals is to become an inspirational, motivational individual, because at 67, I still have lots of energy and passion. All right. And give. When we receive, remember to give. It closes the loop. Okay. Give and receive. Give and receive. We love to give and have somebody else be excited when they receive. So we also have to learn to receive. I didn't know how to receive, right? Well, it makes another person happy and excited when we receive their gift, and receive it with gratitude, with passion, with love. Okay. Whether we like it or not, they made an awesome gesture to us. Be grateful every moment, every day. Okay. Of what we have. Don't focus on, oh man, I don't have this. Oh man, I can't do that. Oh man, I want this, I want that, I can't get it. Why not? Get rid of the word can't. Do it. Find a way. Everything is figure outable. You can read a book by Marie Forleo, okay, and use one of my links down in the bottom, Forleo, and buy the book. Everything is figure outable. Figure outable. Okay. That book is awesome. I was listening to her interview Tony Robbins yesterday and the day before on how he made it. Okay. He grew up poor. Okay. And many of these individuals do grow up poor. They didn't inherit it. They struggled. They made it. They did it. They had ups and downs, losses and stuff. And another lady is Mel Robbins. Okay. She was in debt, $640,000, and watch her now on YouTube. Okay. Mel Robbins. And I listen to a lot of men also. Okay. So in fact, I used to listen to more men than women. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm a woman. I need to also listen to women, successful women. How did they do it? All right. So just do me a favor. When you're going to order books, use one of my Amazon links below, and that'll help me. Amazon will pay me an affiliate fee. Okay. And that helps me for doing things, for free. You encourage me every time. Okay. Carol, I learned that you have received in order to give. So it's good to be on both ends. Yes, it is. Okay. So Mel Robbins is another one. Okay. Awesome. So Marie Forleo and Mel Robbins. So Marie Forleo is on YouTube. She's on podcasts, and she has the book, and she talks about all her challenges. Mel Robbins also, she created a video, I don't know, just recently on how she didn't want to get up, how she felt depressed, how she didn't, and she got up and she did it. Okay. And she showed herself with no makeup and stuff. I've gotten to the point to where, heck, I don't care. It's what I provide and what I give. But before, are you kidding me? I had to have my makeup on. I had to have everything on. I had to look nice. Okay. It's what we have in our heart, what we give, and what we can share about what we know. All right. Number 8. So here's another one. Homeowner Savannah owns the southeastern quarter of the southwestern quarter of the northwestern quarter of Section 4. How many acres is it? Okay, so I just showed you how to easily do it, right? So you're going to do it this way, right? So I want you all to calculate it like that and give me the answer. Okay, so you have 1/4 times 1/4 times 1/4 of Section 4. Doesn't matter what section it is. Okay. So we have 36 sections. Do you need to use that to calculate it? No, it's talking about this section here, which has 640 acres. Okay. But you calculate it by how? The way I just mentioned, right? This way. So calculate and type your answer in the chatty chat. So I've got C from Lisbeth. Come on. The rest of you, let's work it out. Do it on paper and type the answer. How much is a section? 640 acres. Okay, that is one section. It is 640 acres. Okay, visualize this picture. Okay, 640 acres is one section. Every single section, okay, is 640 acres. And each township is 6 miles by 6 miles. One section is 1 mile by 1 mile. Okay, so they can ask you that. So this township, okay, this township here is 6 miles by 6 miles. So each of these sections is 1 mile by 1 mile. So in 1 mile by 1 mile, visualize that. There are 640 acres. Okay, so this is 6 miles by 6 miles. Okay, on the whole township. So 36 square miles. Okay, and then one section is 1 mile. 1 mile by 1 mile. And that is 640 acres. And then when they do it, they divide, they keep breaking it down in quarters, okay? North, south, west, east. And then to figure out when they say 1/4 of 1/4, so this is 1/4. And they say, okay, well, now we want 1/4. So this is 1/4 here, then they want another quarter, and then on this quarter, they divide it again, and they say, okay, I want this quarter. So how many acres in that quarter there? Okay, so 640, you've got 320 on the west side, 320 on the east side. Okay, that's when you split it this way. Okay, if you split it this way, you have 320 on the bottom and 320 on the top. So that totals to 640. You don't take 320, 320, 320, 320. No, it's the top half or the bottom half or the left half or the right half. Okay, and then they start dividing that in quarters. So if you've got 320 on this here, right? So each one of this is what? 160. This is 160 when you divide it into 4 quarters. So that's how they figure that out. All right. So yes, the answer is 10C. Hi, Ruth. Oh, I have 2 Ruths. I have Ruth Simamu and Ruth Mesley. Okay. $10.8, what is it? 10.8C, right? Equals 10 acres, right? I better make sure I type the right one. So did you understand that a little better now? Okay, remember to type the question number and the letter answer. All right, so what question are we on now? Number 10. No, number 9. Okay, y'all have to keep me on track. Okay, help me out. All right, number 9. Yard of Pizza has a percentage lease on its 1,800 square foot space in Lincoln Shop. So the name of the shop, the pizza place, is Yard of Pizza, and it's 1,800 square feet in space in the Lincoln Shops, right? So you have a strip mall, and this particular shop is 1,800 square feet. The terms are $1.40 per square foot per month rent plus 1.75% of the store's gross income. If monthly sales averaged 41,500 last year, okay, monthly sales, how much annual rent did Yard of Pizza pay last year? Okay, so they're telling us they're paying $140, $1.40 per square foot. Okay, so what do you do first? Because they're paying flat rent plus a percentage rent, right? So it's a percentage lease, 1.75 of the gross income monthly. So they're saying if the sales average is 41,500 last year, how much was the whole rent for the whole year? So you've got to do some calculations, several calculations, right? So what do you do first? I want to make sure I have the keep my question on there. Okay, so no one is taking an attempt at it, right? Okay. So first we got to figure out, you've got 1,800 square feet. Square feet, okay, times 140. And what are the units? This is dollars per square foot, right? So you're going to cancel the square feet. So you have 1,800 times 1.4. And what is that? So I'm going to cheat and get the answer. Okay, so you multiply that. Okay, what is 140? Somebody tell me 1,800 times 140. So it's going to be 1,800 and then plus 0.4 of that. 32 is 72. So is it 1,872 per month? Because $1 is 18. So 25. Okay, because on here it doesn't tell me. So then you have this. Okay, so I'm gonna calculate it. I'm doing it in my head, but I'm not sure I did it right. 1,800 times 1.4 equals 2520. Oh yeah, plus 720. Okay. So dun, 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 dun. My numbers were right, but in the wrong place. Okay, plus 720 equals 2520. So what's the units there? That is dollars. They're paying $2,520 per month plus, okay, plus 1.75% of the gross income. If monthly sales averaged 41,500 last year, how much annual rent did that have? Okay, so you have this right here, and you have to multiply by 12. Okay, right, because this is per month, and times 12 months, that gives us $30,240. Okay, that equals for 1 year. Okay, so now you have 41,000 monthly sales average. last year. So that was monthly. Okay. So what do you do there? So you have 41,500. Your units are dollars. Okay. Times decimal. You move the decimal left 2 places. So 0.0175. Okay, you calculate that and you multiply it by 12, right? Because that is because that amount there is monthly. Okay, so 41,500 times the percentage, 0.0175, times 12 months, because they want to know how much was paid last year. So you calculate that, and that equals to $8,715. So we had 30,240 for the base rent for the whole year, and we had income gross lease rent, okay, from gross sales 8,000. Okay, 7,015. You add those together, and what do you get? So you have 30,240 plus, and so that's dollars, plus 8,715. These are yearly totals, okay? We already converted from monthly to yearly. So that gives us what? 38,955 per that year. Okay? So the answer is number A, right? 38,955. This is national, Delta. Thank you for asking. These are math problems that apply to all states. And math is math, no matter what state you're in. Okay? We're doing national right now. We started out with 10.6 and we're on 10.9 because math takes a little bit longer, okay? Especially when I'm calculating it online and practicing. So y'all got that, right? Forgot to carry the 1. Yes, okay. Okay, here comes another math problem. A home appreciated 2.2 2/3% 1 year in 1 year. Okay, it's 2 2/3%. Then 5 1/5% the next year, then 7 1/4% the third year. What was the average appreciation over the 3-year period expressed as decimal? Okay, so you have 2/3, you have 1/4, and you have 1/5. Okay, so that requires, you can convert it to decimal. Yuck, my coffee got cold. Okay, so to convert to decimal, let me get my drawing board again. So you've got 2 2/3. Okay, so that's going to equal 2.76, right? So it's 2 times 4. 2 times 2 is 4. Divided by, I'm sorry, 2/3. So what is 2/3? Where's my eraser? So you divide 2 divided by 3, okay? So what does that equal? So 2, okay, plus 2/3. So what is 2/3? It's 6, 6, 6, 6. 1/3 is 3, 3, 3. 2/3 is 6, 6, 7. So that equals to 2.666. So you round it off to 6.7. Okay, so now that percentage is converted to decimal. Now the second one we have is 5 and 1/5. So what is 1 divided by 5? So it's like having 10 divided by 5. Okay, and you're going to get there what? So if you have 10 divided by 5, it's 0.2. So you have 5.2. Okay, so it's like you've got here 10 divided by 5. So, and it's a decimal, so it's 0.2, right? So now you have 7 and 1/4. So what is 1 divided by 4? So imagine you have 10 divided by 4, so that equals what? 2.5, right? However, it is 0.25 because the 1 is smaller than the 4. So that one is 7.25. Okay, so we have I'm going to change the color here. We have 2.67, 5.2, and 7.25. Okay, so it asks, what was the average appreciation over the 3-year period expressed as decimal? So you've got to total the 3 and take an average, right? So you've got 2.67 plus, what was the other one? 5.2 plus 7.25 gives us what? 7 plus 5 is 12, right? You carry the 1, that's 7. Plus 2, that's 9. Plus 2, that's 11. 11. Okay. Carry the 1. 3, 5 is 8. And 7 is what? 15. Did I do it right? Yes, so it's 15. Okay, 12. And so then it says, so you want to take the average, right? You have 3 numbers. So we added them. So now it's 15.2, okay, divided by what? 3. Or you can do 15. You got to keep your decimals, okay? Divided by 3. There's different ways to do the calculation, but this is the old way. So 3 into 15, okay, gives us what? 5. And that totals 15, right? Where's my eraser? Okay, so we subtract it. So we have 0.2. So we keep the decimal. We take the decimal up here. 3 into 12 is what? I'm sorry, 3 into 1 is 0, right? Because we have the 1 here. I brought the 2 down, okay? So you have, and then, so then you still have the 1, and then you bring down the 2. So 3 times 4, okay? So 3 goes into 0.12, right? 0.04. Okay. So the answer is 5.04. That's the average percentage. Now, when you want to make it the percent, you're going to go what? 0.0504, and you get rid of the percent sign. So we went from percentage to decimal so that we could add it and then divide it to get the average of 3 different percentages. Okay. And we come up with the percentage. If we want to take it back into decimal, then we move the decimal 1, 2 places, right? So the decimal ends up going here, and we get rid of the percentage, right? So the answer is A. Very good, Lisbeth. 10. Nobody attempted that. Okay. So math can take time. It takes practice. Your Delta says, I'm guessing A, and you guessed right. Okay. So you can say that B is going to be wrong. Okay. Because it says, what's the average of 3 percentages? The largest percentage is 7.25. So it's not going to be 15. Okay. So you've got 2, 5, and 7. If you total just those numbers and don't convert it, so 7 plus 5 is 12, plus 2 is 14. Divide that by 3, you're going to get 4 point something, right? But then you've got 2/3, 1/5, 1/4. So it's either going to be A or D. So those are the closest to an average if you're just looking at it. And if you're not sure, then you take a guess. You've got a larger number here, right? And a larger number here. So you have this one that's greater than 4, this one that's greater than 4, and only one that's less than 4. So more than likely, it's going to be A. Okay? That's another way. Sorry, on my pH, hard to catch up. That's okay. On your phone. Should be 1512. No, average. Oh, what did I have? Hold on. Yeah, but the answer is, what did I have? Yeah, so I had 1512. That's what I had. Okay, you were calculating it. So it's 15% 0.12. And then divide that by 3, and we got 5.04. So yeah, it was 1512 by adding all 3. And then divide by 3, and we got 5.04. Okay. All right. So that was 10.10. And I lost a lot of people on the math. They're like, oh, man, I don't want to do math. Oh, well. That's okay. So it's 5.04. That is the average of the 3 percentages. All right. Did y'all understand that? So there's different ways. I don't like to say different ways to skin a cat because I love cats. So I'm not going to use that even though I said it. There's different ways to calculate a math problem typically. Number 11. A homeowner paid $185,000 for a house 3 years ago. The house sells today for $239,000. And how much has the property appreciated? Oh my gosh, we had Kaida was taking her test today. She had one last chance, and Kaida just let me know. Kaida passed. Yahoo! So this was her last time. She texted me last time. She said, I take my test tomorrow. My application deadline of the year is Sunday. And congratulations. So I want to congratulate Kaida. Congratulations. Awesome. Gee, I can't write. Or I can't type. And so that's fantastic. You see, individuals do pass. Yes. So Kaida passed. Woohoo! Awesome. She was here on Wednesday. Okay, so back to the question. A homeowner paid $185 for a house 3 years ago. The house sells today, $239,000. How much has the property appreciated? So here you use what? You can use the T formula, right? So is it 23%, 77%, 29%, or 123%? So look, the whole is equal to 100%. And 3 years later, it sells for 239. That's greater than 185%, 185,000. Okay. So it was 108. So what's the difference between 185,000 and 239,000? So it sold for 100 point something percent. Okay. And so the house, how much has the property appreciated? So it's not telling us the total that it sold for. It says how much did it appreciate, the difference between 239 and 185 in percentage. Okay. So, okay, Lisbeth has A. This is for number, it is not A. So it says appreciation as a percent can be estimated by one, subtracting the estimated current market value from the price originally paid. So 239. So 239. Again, there's different ways to calculate it, okay? Minus, what was it, 185? And I'm going to use K for 1,000, okay? Since my numbers here are. So that equals 54K. In the real world, you'll start to abbreviate the thousands, okay? So 54,000. Okay, and then you divide by the original value. Okay, so 54,000, then divided by what was the basis? 185. That's what it was bought 3 years ago. So the difference of the 3 years was 54,000. The original price was 185. And that equals 0.29. Okay. Now you might be able to do it with the T formula. Divided by the, we're looking for what? The percentage times the whole. And the whole is 185. Right? So the T formula you can use to do it also that way. So the answer is C, 29%. 10.11 C, which is 29%. So the answer was going to be like 1.29 because it's 100. They sold it for 100% plus more. So 1.29. So the difference was 29%. Point C equals 29%. All right. So got it? Aren't these fun? Whoa. I lost a lot of people with the math. Okay, number 12. Seller Frank receives an offer of $290,000 on a property he listed at $308,000. How much is the offer as a percent of the list price? So Frank receives an offer of $290,000, yet had it listed for $308,000. How much is the offer as a percent of the listing? So it's less than 100%, right? Because the whole is 100% was 308,000. So it's not going to be D. Okay, and it's not going to be A because A is a little too small. So let's go to the drawing board. So it's going to be 290K divided by 300 and what is it? 8K. We get rid of the dollar sign and we get 94.94%. Okay. Sorry, so it's 94%, not 0.94. When you convert it, it'll be when you take out the percent sign. Okay, so that is also equal to 0.94, right? Because this here is equivalent to 100%. So they sold it for less than 100%, and it's only $18, okay, difference. So it's going to be a small decrease, okay, like of 6%. So it goes down. So you can kind of visually see that one. If you were to take 10% of 308, that's going to be 30,000 and 30,800, right? If you were to subtract that from there, well, it's going to go less than 290, okay? If you multiply by 5%, so that would be like 15,000. If you subtract 15,000 from 308, you end up with 293. So, you know, it comes out to that. It's a little bit more than a 5% reduction. Okay, because the question was, how much is the offer as a percent of the list price? So it's sales price versus list price. And we deal with that when we're looking at the regular market statistics every day and see how much. And when you end up starting to sell properties yourself, is how good are you at getting closer to the list price versus sales price? You want to end up with a high percentage, 97, 98, 99% compared to other realtors. So more clients will hire you because you average higher sales price versus the list. All right, so the answer with C. Who got C? Carol got C. Oh, no, nobody answered number 12. All right. Number 7. number 7, number 13, right? That's where we're at. Okay, number 13. A property is being appraised using the income capitalization approach. Annually, it has potential gross income of $30,000, vacancy and credit losses of $1,500, and operating expenses of $10,000. Using a capitalization rate of 9%, what is the indicated value to the nearest 1,000? So we're going to round it off. So remember, the formula is value equals interest rate divided by investment divided by rate, where V is the value, I is the interest, and R is the cap rate, pardon me. So, let me, okay, so it's V equals I divided by R. So this is the value. Gosh, can't seem to type here. Okay. This is the interest. Annual income. We're dealing with annual income and rate. Annual dollars. Okay. So that's what that is. I. And this is rate. And so what do they give us? They give us the rate of 9%. So we're looking for what? So they have a gross income of 30,000, vacancy and credit losses of 1,500, and operating expenses of 10,000. So we're looking for what? The value, right? Because we have the rate and we have the annual income. Okay. So we're dividing, divide by the capitalization rate. Okay. So we have 30K, okay, which is the income, minus the 1,500, which is credit losses and vacancy. And these are all dollars, okay, minus 10,000. Okay. And then we're going to divide that by 0.09, right? Because the capital rate is 9%. So what do you get? 30,000 minus 11,500. So value equals, so what is that? 20, that's 18,500. Okay, right? Okay, they don't show it here. So 10,000, that would be 20 minus 15, that's 85. Yep, okay, divide that by 0.09. And what do we get? We get a value of 205,555, and they said to round it off to 206. So why did I go to 206? Because whenever when you're rounding up, it's because you have a value of 5 or greater, then you round up. If the value here was less than 5, then we round, we stay at 205. We round down. Okay. However, it's 5 or greater, then it rounds off to 206. So the answer is A. Good job, Delta. So that was 200. Oops, let me write the 206, 106,000. So you're dealing with a cap rate of 9%, looking for what the value of the property is when we know the income and the expenses. So income minus expenses, gross income minus expenses, losses and operating expenses gives us the net income. Divide that by the capital rate, gives us what the property value is. So investors are going to look at that. All right, number 14. If gross income on a property is 75,000, net income is 30,000, and the cap rate is 8%. The value of the property using the income capitalization method is what? So you have gross income of 75,000, and then they already tell us what the net income is, right? So do we need the gross income? No, because they're not giving us the expenses or losses to subtract. They already tell us what the net income is, right? So it's net income. So again, we're looking for the value equals income over the rate, which is 30K divided by 0.08. That gives us 375. Okay. Now, when you have a small number in the bottom, which is a percentage, and you have a large number on top, okay, you're going to end up with a large number because it's a percentage here. It's less than 1. Then you're going to end up with a greater number of value because that is the real estate value. So it has to be greater than 30,000, okay, and greater than 75,000. However, it's not going to be 3 million if you're only netting 30,000 a year. So you kind of start using common sense, all right, about that. And 8 into 30, okay, is how you start to divide it. So how many times does 8 go into 8 into 30? 6 times 8 can be what, 48? So 30,000, that's K, okay? So 30,000 divided by 0.8 gives us 625,000, right? I'm sorry, 375,000. Because 8 goes into 30 3 times, right? 24. 24 times 8, right, is 24. So it's got to be a 3, and it's not going to be 3 million. So it is 375. So that's another way to look at it quickly without doing much calculation. I was looking at the answer of 6. I'm like, how the heck am I coming up with 48? So some math problems, you can, think about them and hopefully take a good guess. That was 375. Okay, there. So no problems. All right. Next question, number 15. The roof of a property costs $16,000. The economic life of the roof is 20 years. So roof costs $16,000. Economic life is how long is it going to really last? Is 20 years. Assuming a straight line method of depreciation, meaning you're taking the same number of depreciation every year, the same percentage, what is the depreciated value of the roof after 3 years? So you've got 16,000 total cost for the roof, and it should last 20 years. So after 3 years, what is the amount it's depreciated after 3 years? Right? So we have to find out how much is the depreciation amount for 20 years. Okay? So what do? 16,000 divided by 20 years. Okay, what is that going to be? What is it? 800. So 16,000 divided by 20. Okay, and then they multiply it by 3. Okay. So you're going to have, so I should disregard the way. I'll just do it in case anybody has the, okay. It's that times, so you calculate this 16,000 divided by 20 years times 3. So it's 800, right? Times 3 equals what? 2,400. Okay, so that's how much it depreciates in 3 years. So they're asking, what is the depreciated value of the roof after 3 years? So now you have to subtract from the 16,000, the 2,400 to get what is left of depreciation. So that's going to be what? 13,600. So they still have 17 more years to depreciate. Each year it depreciates by $800. Yes, very good. So 1015 is B. $13,600, right? So good for you who calculated it. Awesome. Okay, so we started out with what question? 10:06, and we're at 10:15. So we've done 10 problems. Okay, so we're going to move on, or we've done 9 problems, right? It's already 11:34. So we're going to move on to Texas State. So any questions on the math? Math takes a little longer. Okay, we've been here an hour and a half. However, we did some inspirational, motivational stuff and answering your questions. Any other questions before we go to Texas State questions? Okay, so and for Texas State, let's see, we're on For Texas State, we're on 1411. And for anyone that just came on wondering what book we're using, this is the book that we're using. And this book is offered for 26 different states. You can use the link on my description below for the Amazon link. And so I have the link for Texas, and then I have a link for all states so that you can go to Amazon and purchase a book that you can use, or you can get it on Kindle, which is how I purchase the books, so that I can use them on here with the approval of the author. Oops. All right, any questions? So nobody asked questions. Okay, so we're shifting to Texas State questions. And I'm going to write on here time we transition. Sometimes I have some students. Okay, and the Texas State questions deal with standards of conduct and practice and in brokerage practice. So that's what we're dealing with there. All right. So anybody watching? So at about 11:37, I'm going to write that down. 11:37 went to Texas. So let me completely transition here. Oh, actually 14, pardon me. 14 is agency. I forgot to change this. Agency and brokerage relations. Relations. So we did standard of conduct last week, and then we started with so it's not that. This test is with agency and brokerage relationships, okay? All right, number 11. So this is what we're actually doing. Very good. What is the primary function of an appointed intermediary? So hopefully you know intermediary. Is it A, to stand for the primary intermediary in the event of an absence or illness? B, to give the principals a choice in which broker they prefer to represent them? C, to represent the principal party that the broker does not represent? Or D, to carry out specific instructions from the intermediary for the benefit of the principal party? Type your answer in the chat. Come on, type your answer in the chat. All right, so far we have D. Anyone else? It is not A. Okay, and it is not C. The answer is D. To carry out specific instructions from the intermediary for the benefit of the principal party, right? Because the intermediary now represents through each of his realtors both sides of the transaction. What is the primary function of an appointed intermediary? So they have to carry out specific instructions from the main intermediary, the main broker, for the benefit of the principal party. So A said, let's see, we had an A and a C. To stand for the primary intermediary in an event of an illness or absence. No. And C, to represent the principal party that the broker does not represent. No, the intermediary is a broker. Okay. And they have both sides of the transaction under them. Okay. So, or they may have. Okay. They're not talking that they do have one yet. However, when a broker is an intermediary, okay, because that's what an intermediary is, it's a broker, and it can be an appointed broker by the franchise, by the brokerage, okay, because there's a brokerage name and there's an appointed broker, okay. So it is to carry out specific instructions from the intermediary for the benefit of the principal party. So the listing agreement will, and the purchase and sale agreement will have a box in it that says, do you accept intermediary or do you not accept intermediary? Okay. Therefore, if they agree to intermediary, that means that they're okay if both buyer agent and seller agent are under the same brokerage and the broker becomes the intermediary. So very good, Carol and Delta, no, and Lisbeth, D. So it doesn't have to be in the event of the absence, but it says, what is the primary function of an appointed intermediary? So it's not to stand for the primary, okay? It's to carry out instructions, specific instructions from the intermediary. To represent the principal party? No, because if they're an intermediary, then there has to be a buyer agent and a listing agent. I mean, and they represent both sides as an intermediary. However, they cannot negotiate or advise. They're like a mediator, helping them come to an agreement if for some reason there's a dispute. So first we resolve anything amongst us. However, they cannot advise or direct or negotiate for. The actual realtor representing each of the clients is the one that does that. So let's see how the answer says. The appointed intermediary must carry out instructions provided by the intermediary. Furthermore, the AI must be pre-authorized in the original consent document. The AI is then empowered to offer opinion and advice to the principal to whom she was assigned to. So the appointed agent, okay, must be pre-authorized in the original consent document, because it is going to be an agent, okay, that is end up going to representing each of the parties. So I'm looking something up. Yeah, so it's the artificial intelligence, right? It must be pre-authorized in the original consent document. So interesting. So anyway, the appointed intermediary is carrying out specific instructions from the intermediary for the benefit of the principal party. Number 12. Okay, because remember, the broker, the intermediary, assigns, right, an agent to represent the seller and assigns an agent to represent the buyer that they each advise, even though in a real world, we find the client ourselves, right? But in some situations, the intermediary broker will have to assign a realtor. Okay, so number 12, we're an agent, right? Realtor agent. Realtors are considered professionals, but we're mostly referred to as agents. Which of the following accurately describes a broker's duty in managing operations? A, the broker must develop, then abide by his or her rules for handling trust funds and managing the trust account. B, the broker may delegate compliance duties, but must ensure timely communications between his delegated sales agents and clients. C, the broker may delegate selling and prospecting activities, but may not delegate property management activities. Or D, all listing and sales agents' names must be maintained to accurately reflect each agent's address and contact data. So which of the following accurately describes a broker's duty in managing responsibilities, managing operations? Because that's what brokers do. So type the answer of A, B, C, or D. And it's not D. I'll at least give you that. Type your answer in the chatty chat. No one? Okay, well, I'm moving on. The answer is B. The broker may delegate compliance duties, but must ensure timely communication between their delegated sales agents and clients. Okay, so let's see. The answer says the broker may delegate administrative and compliance duties, but he or she remains responsible for track communications 10 days following receipt or less, or client communications 3 days or less. The broker must comply with existing trust fund rules, not develop his or her own. Listings must be in the broker's name. So that's why D was not correct, because it says in sales agent's name. No, it's in the broker's name. And the broker must develop and abide by his or her rules for handling trust funds and managing the trust accounts. No, TREC has rules for that, right? And then C, the broker may delegate selling and prospective activities, but may not delegate property management activities. Okay, so property management activities, certain of them can be delegated if you have another broker or they have an employee assistant. So let's see here. He or she remains responsible to TREC 10 days following receipt or less, okay, of money. So that's talking about A. And the broker or client communications, right, within 3 days or less. So there are rules that we already have to follow. We don't create them and bring them up ourselves. So that was for C. So the answer here is B. The broker may delegate compliance duties. Yes, there can be a realtor that takes care of compliance or an associate, but must ensure timely communication, okay, between their delegated sales agents and clients. And it can be TREC, let's see, remains responsible for TREC communication 10 days following receipt or less. And then, or client communication 3 days or less. So that was, having to deal with number B. So they were just sharing specific timelines. All right, number 13. A broker must discharge numerous duties relating to her agency relationship, his or her. Which of the following is such a duty? A, the broker owes customer honest disclosure of the client's financial status and property value. B, the broker owes the fiduciary obligations of fairness and impartiality in dealing with clients. C, the broker is obligated to justify any and all subordinate terminations with TREC, with the Texas Real Estate Commission. D, the broker must disclose to the principal all known information affecting the client's decision making unless legally prohibited. So the broker must discharge numerous duties relating to their agency relationship. Which of the following is such a duty? Type your answer in the chat. It is not B. See, B says the actual answer is D. The broker must disclose to the principal all known information affecting the client's decision making unless legally prohibited. B states the broker owes the fiduciary obligation of fairness and impartiality in all dealings with clients. Okay. So it says the broker must place the client's interest as foremost in his or her disclosure practices, including material facts and property conditions and conditions data. As such, the broker must be partial, not impartial, in client dealings. Intermediaries owe the duty of honesty and fairness to transaction principles. Okay, so honesty, the broker owes fiduciary obligations of fairness and honesty and must be partial, okay, in all dealings with clients. So that's why B was wrong. It didn't include honesty and the fact that they are partial, must be partial. Number 14. Oh, let me make it bigger. Transactions, listing, and closing files must be maintained from the date of closing or expiration for a total of how many years? 1, 2, 3, or 4, A, B, C, and D. So how many years do we maintain our files on every transaction after closing or expiration? All right, so far we've got D. Anybody else? So D, D, D. Yes, the answer is D. 4 years. Very good. Awesome. Number 15. Brokers are required to maintain office policies and procedures to ensure that, among other things, sponsored sales agents keep current on laws changes and their continuing education requirements. Which of the following is not a goal served by policy and procedure manual? Hey, so here's the news from Kaida. She says, hi, everyone. That is Kaida, K Fort. I passed on the first try the day before my application expired. I passed. Yahoo! Awesome. Congratulations. Thank you for sharing, Kaida. That is fantastic. Look at that. On her first try. Could you, before her expiration of the year in December, on Sunday. So could you share with us how you studied, okay, what you studied and for how long? I mean, everybody is different, okay? However, you said you passed it on the first time and you waited till almost the end of the year. So let us know, what did it take for you to prepare? How often did you prepare and what did you study? Oh, thank you, Kaida. Thank you so much for appreciating my videos. So number 15, brokers are required to meet. Okay, which one is not a goal served by policy? A, advertising compliance. B, proper record maintenance. C, optimized web presence for marketing listings. Or D, ensuring practicing licensees have active licenses. So far, C, yes, right? The policies and procedures are not about optimizing web presence for marketing listings. One, we already have the MLS for marketing listings. It's the first, okay? And from there, it goes to, I don't know, 200 or other syndicated websites that market the property. And then we do our own marketing, which could be on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, sending emails, blast emails to all realtors in the area, calling buyers, calling sellers to see if they know of anyone, and also on YouTube, okay, doing a video tour of the property. So many, many ways to market the property. However, optimizing our personal website, that's our responsibility. The office policy and procedures have to ensure advertising compliance, proper record maintenance, and ensuring practicing licensees have active licenses. So this is what brokers are required to maintain office policies and procedures to ensure that, among other things, sponsored sales agents keep current on law changes and their continuing education requirements. And of course, you know, the type of advertising we're allowed. Okay, so let me type the answer and then we'll go to the comments from Ida. I asked her on Messenger to please come into the class and share with us. So 15 is C. All right, so Kaida Ford, were the test questions harder than these questions? For the most part, a lot of times, yes. So Kay said, I studied Kaplan's Texas State Real Estate Exam book, Aceable Real Estate course, and your videos, which were so helpful. So actually, yeah, so I actually recommend also Aceable, okay, the real estate course, and your prep book from any school that you went to. Okay, so she went to Kaplan's Texas State of Real Estate. Okay, so that's excellent. And at Delta, about the same. Okay, so Delta's question was, were the test questions harder than these questions? About the same. Okay, sometimes there are some questions that we've never seen before, and though they want us to think, okay, about this. So here's some questions. So we're done with Texas State questions. Let's review what Kay is offering, or Kaida. How much is the book, soft or hard cap? Copy, the book copy. Yeah, so Kaplan is probably the book that the school that she went to, all right? So your book, Carol, whatever school you went to, that prep book is probably also great. I got it from Half Price Books for $20. Okay, so that's another book. And she got a soft copy. Okay, so where did you take your courses, Kaida? Or K Ford, so everybody. Where did you take your courses? Okay. I actually went to Aceable Online School, which is better. So listen to this. I actually went to Aceable Online School, which is better. Okay, I'm also recommending Aceable Online School. And I think I have it on my links below. If not, I haven't added the link yet because I got a affiliation with them. And that is when you can do it on your phone, you can do it on the computer. And let's see if I have it on the description. If I don't have it on the description, I'll add it on there. And so let's see, I asked her, where did you take your courses? Says, I only bought the Kaplan book for extra reference. Okay. And okay, Aceable, where did you take your courses with Aceable? I'm assuming that's what AE means. Okay, so I'll have to add the Kaplan book also on the links, okay, where you can buy on Amazon. However, if you can buy a used one somewhere else, hey, do that. Save your money for when you actually get into paying all your startup fees, you know, exam costs, exam fees, prep classes. Save your money for that, okay, and buy used stuff. Yes, Champion has an excellent school and also prep books, and they have where you can buy the weekend prep or certain other prep for $120, I think. And then Aceable keeps you engaged with corny comments. Kaplan is kind of dry, but also some more details, but offers more details. Okay. So if you need a little, you know, distraction, right? So that's what she says. Aceable keeps you engaged with corny comments. So it's always good to have something that keeps us alert and engaged. Okay. But look at this. She bought the Kaplan book for extra reference. So that's when I say practice lots and lots of questions. So the more questions you repeat, is the better you'll get to know questions to expect on the exam, or when you see them on the exam, okay, you'll recognize, you know, the questions better. So, you know, all of you, Carol, Champion has a good book, but you can get a reference book like Kay is saying. And so some of those books is like what I use here, okay? The Texas real estate exam book. And I like those because they answer the questions. Okay, so I'm not familiar with the Kaplan book, so I'll have to research that. So this is one of the books, and I love books that explain the answers, and it helps you when you're studying to not have to always go back to the material to search for the answer, but you have it there quickly, and then you can go and review the summary that each of these prep books have, because they're all called prep books, exam preps, and that's what you want. You don't want a whole big book like you already studied. So, Caitlin, thank you so much for sharing about your exam, and congratulations on passing on the first attempt. So if you haven't chosen a brokerage yet, okay, a sponsor, let's talk about it and see if EXP would be an option for you. So here's another, so Lily, is it in Amazon? No, I'll have to add the Kaplan book on Amazon, but it probably is on Amazon, but she got it on, what did she say? For $20 on half price books, kind of like eBay. So there's half price books. And you're welcome, Lisbeth. And Lily, is this on Amazon? It probably is. Okay, and you could potentially get it as a Kindle, So I can look at it, look it up really quick here. And then Kaplan book had trick questions in a true-false framework, which makes questions very exacting. Okay, so they use a lot of true-false. A lot of books don't use true-false questions. So let me look it up on Amazon. Kaplan, Texas real estate prep book. Okay, I'm not finding it really quick here. Let's see, is this by Kaplan? Nope. Okay, I'm not finding the Kaplan really quick on let's see here. Oh, great, Kaida. Thank you. I'll book some time with you soon. Awesome. Let's see. I had the explanation for why something was false to teach you why they were trick questions, which I liked. Okay. And then I have a printout from your website, but I would like an online copy so I can answer questions and tests online. I have a printout from your website, but I would like an online copy. Oh, okay. Got it. Yes. I think you can only Kaplan book if you buy the course. I got it secondhand. All right. Okay. Got it. It's probably like Champion. Champion doesn't sell them on Amazon. You have to get it from their school. So let me see if I can get half price books, and I'll look. What is the exact title, Kay, of that book, and what year is it? Because sometimes old books are excellent. In fact, they usually are. Half price books. So I'm Googling it right now, and Kaplan real estate. Let's see here. Then you can only Kaplan books. Okay, so this is it's like Champion because they're schools. Okay, Kaplan is I believe a school. Kaplan book just cover Texas. Oh, I see. So most prep books have both national and Texas. It's from 2014. It's in my car. Let me check. Awesome. So you see, she's using an old book and it's still helpful. Even some state questions, like on the one that I recommend, Texas Real Estate Sales Exam, 4th edition, which is online that you can download and have it on your computer. Okay, you don't have to download it and print it. You can view it online. Okay, it's free. Somebody uploaded it and it's there. So that book is on my description on the bottom. You can buy the book. However, you can also Google it and make sure you download the actual book and not some other stuff. So, and that book is an old one, like from 2007, but the national and the state are great. But I like what that one also has true and false questions. Some stuff was out of date though. Yes, and that is okay with some old ones if you realize that that's going to happen. Okay, so I'm looking for, so she bought the 2014. As she said, it was an outdated book. Yeah, so I probably have to research this a little bit more because I'm not finding it right away. Let me put the year. Kaplan, 2014 Kaplan Real Estate Prep. Well, I should probably share this, right? So I am searching online, okay, for Kaplan real estate book, and this is half price books, but I'm not seeing. So you guys probably have to, research, but keep in mind, as Kaida says, there are some outdated questions. So you see here it says Real Estate Principles by Kaplan, Guide to Passing the Real Estate Exam. Let me enlarge this. So there seems to be several books, Mastering Education, Office, Real Estate Brokerage. Yeah, so y'all have to do some, Google it. So what if we just Google Kaplan real estate exam books? So Kaplan has, it is a school, real estate education. So that's where, you have to buy the prep book if you attend the school. And it also says there are some on Amazon. So let's say real estate books by Kaplan. Am I still sharing the screen? Oh, no, I wasn't. Okay. So ISBN. Okay. Real estate investment. Yeah, you guys. So you need to look for, Kaplan books in different places. So there are some, it seems like it, on Amazon, but I don't see them yet. I saw them more when I Googled it, so I'm not seeing them here either. Here's some Kaplan books. So you'd have to go narrow it down and look for Kaplan, Texas real estate. But they do have some on half.com, you see, and they're well, that didn't bring up much. Your brokerage. So you'll have to do some Googling. All right. And in different places and get used books. Okay. So that you don't have to pay full price. So she says from ISBN, I think you can only Kaplan books if you buy the course. I got it secondhand. Okay. So, do some searches to find inexpensive books, extra ones. So it says, welcome to Kaplan Books Online. Where does it say anything that says real estate? I don't see real estate really quick. No. Okay, well, that's enough searching while we're online. Take some time to look at some Kaplan real estate books. I just keep searching. Okay, let me see what this is here. Here's a real estate exam prep on thrift books. Real estate exam prep by Kaplan. Okay, so there's one for $14.59. And let's see the product details. Oh, so this might be it from 2014. Okay, so there's a one edition for $14.59. So I'm going to add it to my wish list. Well, I'll have to sign in later. Okay, so Google it. Or like they say in Spanish, googlealo. All right, y'all. So it was awesome having you here and having Kay Kaida let us know that she passed on the first time. So it is doable, you all, okay, that you can do it. And, you know, she probably studied for a long time daily. I'm not sure. She didn't mention that, how she went about her studying, but everybody studies differently. And you have to find out what is the best way for you to study. A quiet place, focus, no phone distractions. Put your alerts, you know, on mute. Put it on airplane mode so you are not interrupted. Because every time that you're interrupted when you're studying, it takes time to get refocused. So you're losing time. Yes. All right. So, so there, Kate said that's the book. Kaida said that's the book she bought, if anybody wants to try it. And I don't think it has it on, it's only on paperback. Okay. So keep studying, keep practicing. So thanks for attending tonight. This is Wild Lily Handy coming to you from San Antonio with whom? YouTube Agent Prep. Until next time, catch you all later. Have an awesome day and continue studying, and congratulations and pass. And like the thumbnail shows, okay, think positive. Think I pass. Believe it's the easiest exam, okay? Some do get easy exams. You're very welcome, Delta. Until next time, y'all. Catch you later. Bye.